Welcome, Cathy Kanefsky, President and CEO of Food Bank Delaware, and one of your graduates, Giuseppe Dimore from the Kitchen School. Thanks for making the time. This is a really interesting and exciting project. Cathy, why don't you start by telling us how it evolved?
Absolutely. And thank you so much for having us and putting the spotlight on our program and our students and graduates. We have what we call workforce development at the Food Bank of Delaware. And I think if you're familiar with some of our programs, you know that we do culinary training and logic training, which is warehouse logistics and operations training. But this new program that we started, the Kitchen School, is really a dream of mine since I started. It's taking what we know works with a traditional culinary program, and we have now adapted that for people with intellectual disabilities. So this class is we have a whole different set of instructors and support staff that really help the students be successful. And why it's so important to me, I always say I wear two hats, sometimes three, but I definitely wear two when it comes to the food bank. I have certainly the honor of serving as the president and CEO of this organization, but I'm a mom, and I have twin sons who are 31 who both have autism. And I know how much both of them have to offer this world, and I know how much having meaningful employment means to them and to me as their mom and my husband as their dad. And so rolling this program out really truly is serving so many needs that I'm very familiar with. But what's the most beautiful about it is the community's response. So we partner with the Delaware Restaurant Association, and why this program is so important to them is because there are jobs in our restaurant industry that are just waiting for people.
That's where I was going. This really is a match made in heaven, pairing people with disabilities and culinary training. Giuseppe, why don't you jump in here? What did you like best about your training with Food Bank?
Okay.
Did you learn to cook or bake or
I
be in
learned
the
to cook
kitchen?
and bake and be at the kitchen.
Great, great. And we've actually met some of the fine staff Cathy has down there, and they are terrific. Are there different sort of nuanced trainings depending on the interests and abilities of these students?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Giuseppe, tell about your first few days of class when Chef Ron, what did he do with all of you and your fellow students? Do you remember what he asked you?
We prepared the food.
Yeah. Did he ask you what kind of food you like?
Red pudding.
Yeah.
Spaghetti meatballs.
Oh, yeah.
So our chef, Ron, is our instructor for the kitchen school.
He's
here.
fabulous.
He's fabulous.
I'm glad you agree. Cathy, let me jump to you. What kinds of employment opportunities are available to these grads?
Yeah, so it's honestly one of the things that's unfolding in a really wonderful way for us. I think we all thought when we had that partnership with the Restaurant Association and we're in this partnership together with them, that it would open a lot of doors for the restaurants throughout the state. But what we've seen since, and this is we have a third class going. So Giuseppe was the second class. We have a third class in Milford right now. We've had some of our graduates placed in some areas and some organizations that we hadn't really considered, like elementary school cafeteria. We've had some folks working in some of our grocery stores and some other partners that we have had, JP Morgan Chase in their cafeteria. So it's not necessarily always going to be a restaurant, which is kind of interesting when you think about sometimes the restaurant hours might not always be what's best for someone that needs a little bit more structure and routine. So we're really thrilled with the response that we've had, because there are just so many opportunities and people that want people like Giuseppe that are walking in that door every day with a smile and asking what they can do and doing it without complaining, right? Just do what you're asked to do, and you say, how can I do things differently and better all the time, right?
Giuseppe, does your mom make spaghetti and meatballs for you? Did you already know how to prepare spaghetti and meatballs?
Oh, yes.
I'll bet. I'll bet. And Cathy, before we have to sort of wrap up here, I know that you have a summer program that's now enrolling. Can you talk about that?
I can. We call that the summer, it's the PREET. So it's not Summer Culinary Exploration Program. And whereas what Giuseppe graduated from is really truly a culinary program that you graduate with certification and you're on your way to a job in whatever aspect of the industry. The summer PREETs program is more like a camp, and it's for kids. It's for students who are still in school that are maybe thinking they'd like to try that out, but they're not quite sure. So it gives them a little bit of a taste, no pun intended, to see if they would like that kind of an opportunity. And so the PREETs program we have both in Newark and Milford throughout the summer, and we're still enrolling students. So it's something to check out if you're interested.
Well, if the help wanted signs all over Rehoboth and Lewis around the restaurants are any indication, there are a lot of opportunities for your graduates out there. And as you say, some in institutional settings. So once again, you've done it. You've come up with an absolutely wonderful marriage of training and need.
Yes.
Giuseppe, final word is for you. What are your hopes and dreams? What do you hope to do with this?
Working at the restaurant and was at Bardea.
Oh, wow. You aim tall.
Yeah.
Well,
No
thank you.
doubt he's going to achieve his dreams.
Oh, I think he will. I think he will. And what a wonderful employee he'll make.
Mhm.
So cheerful. That smile, first of all, is just worth $1 million. Cathy, thank you so much. And Giuseppe for taking the time today. I really
you.
appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Have a good day.
See you later,
Have a
Giuseppe.
good day.
Ciao.